Yeah.
5 on your health tonight. Fruit-flavored vapes are now on the market. Now, the FDA says they're only approved for sale to adults.
So why is the nation's top group of pediatricians getting involved? Joining us now, Dr. Scott Hadlin, Chief of Adolescent Medicine at Mass General Brigham for Children. Dr. Hadlin, good to see you. As always, thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, too.
All right, happy Friday. As you know, the American Academy of Pediatrics wants the FDA to, quote, reconsider its decision to approve these products. So what is their concern?
Yeah, the issue here is that they are flavored, okay? So this manufacturer, it's a manufacturer known as Glass Inc., based out of Los Angeles, has 2 new e-cigarette products that have been approved by the FDA for smoking cessation. They have 2 products, one called Gold, the other called Sapphire. Gold stands for their mango-flavored e-cigarette. Sapphire stands for their blueberry-flavored e-cigarette. And we know that when it comes to teenagers, that they are often enticed by these flavors, that the vast majority of teens who report using e-cigarettes report that they like the flavoring. Now, to be fair, we know that these products, the e-cigarettes, are often very helpful ways for adults who smoke cigarettes to cut back on their cigarette use. And the FDA has said that they believe that they have new restrictions in place that can keep young people from getting their hands on these e-cigarettes. I think what's really tricky here is we just don't know what on balance is going to happen here. And this is the worry of the American Academy of Pediatrics and many pediatricians, is that the benefits here to adults who smoke cigarettes are actually going to be outweighed by the number of teens who start smoking or start using e-cigarettes.
We know that kids find their way to get their hands on things, even if they're not supposed to have them. In general, what is the status of vaping now in our area? You know, is the coolness factor gone?
Well, very fortunately, vaping is on the decline in young people. And so the most recent year for which we have data at the national level is 2024. And that year, among high school and middle school students, there were 1.6 million young people who vaped at that time. That actually was a nice decline from 2.1 million, or went down by about 500,000 from the year before. And so vaping is actually reaching an all-time low. But I have to approach this with a lot of humility. There's a lot of nuance here. These policies are really complex. Their effects are difficult to understand, and I don't know what is going to happen with this particular policy change. You know, having an e-cigarette product endorsed by the FDA could cause more young people to get back into vaping at a time,
thinking it's safe.
Right, when we, have been on the decline and had an enormous public health success.
And we know how addictive they can be. We know that some products can be very loaded with nicotine, and nicotine, I would imagine, impacts kids differently than adults?
Absolutely it does, and I see this all the time. I see young people who vape in my clinical practice every day when I'm in clinic, and the truth is that many young people do have a problem with nicotine. They can't stop using it. When they do try to stop using it, they experience severe withdrawal symptoms, they experience strong cravings to use, and so it's really problematic, and we know that their brains are more vulnerable to addiction at a young age. In fact, the younger a person is when they first start using nicotine, the more likely they are to go on to use nicotine for the rest of their life, and so the stakes here are really high.
Forget the blueberry vapes.
Yeah,
just
the mango.
Stick with the dirt.
Stick with the dirt. Certainly cause for concern. Dr. Hadlin, thank you so much. Great to see you. Have a great weekend.